Welcome back. And I am here with Micky. And Micky is one of our members here at Integrity Wellness. And Micky has started with us about 3 weeks ago, about a month ago almost. And I'm going to let Micky share with you guys her story and what brought her to us and what she's experienced since starting here at our clinic. Welcome, Micky.
Thank you. So, I have been coming for approximately the last 3 weeks. Just a little bit of background. I'm 56 and I am suffering from rheumatoid arthritis as well as an autoimmune condition. It's forced me off work for the last 3 months, and despite being treated by my family physician as well as some specialists, I haven't seen a big improvement in my condition. I was gifted a membership by a family member. And if I'm going to be completely honest, which I think I need to be, I was quite skeptical coming in. I had heard great things from other people, but didn't necessarily believe it was something that was going to work for me. And I will tell you, it took approximately 10 minutes to be humbled.
And I really like how you mentioned that you're skeptical because I think in today's world, especially, we should all be very skeptical and should ask our own questions and search for our own answers because there's a lot of mistruths out there. And so I love that you came in skeptical, but I think what you said particularly was that you really didn't know if it was going to be something that would work for you. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. And can you maybe just explain a little bit about where that might come from for you? Like, you've said you've tried a number of different things and haven't noticed any real improvements. Does that lead you to believe or have this sort of sense that maybe most things aren't going to work for you or nothing could work for you?
Yeah, so I'm 56 years old with the strong belief that physicians know best. There's a certain protocol that you follow as far as medications with their advice, specialist recommendations. I was put on some pretty heavy duty pharmaceuticals, and all kind of had the potential for some serious side effects. So when I wasn't getting a lot of relief from that, I just thought that if those things can't work for me, then it's much more complicated than just perhaps what the Wellness Center had to offer me. Again, I'm sure it worked for a lot of people, just didn't think it was going to be working for me.
And you said it took about 10 minutes and you were humbled. And I love that because I'd like for you to share with the audience. There's a lot of people that are going to listen to this that are going to relate to what, diagnosis or labels that you have been given, to your experience that you've had with pharmaceuticals, and also to, the idea that things may not work if heavy duty pharmaceuticals don't work too, right? If something, we deal with a lot of water and people in hydration, and people don't really understand the basics and they think it's too simple. So a lot of people are very similar to you, Micky, and I want your story to help people resonate and to hear you, because hopefully they'll put themselves in that situation. So what did you mean by You were humbled, if you can share.
Sure. So, with some of my symptoms, well, first of all, I had lost basically the use of both hands. Simple tasks like holding a cup of coffee without spilling it, turning a doorknob sometimes. At 56, I don't consider myself old. I like to think I have the mind of still a punk kid, but my body was rebelling. On my drive here for the first session, I can actually, again, being honest, thought, I don't know why I'm doing this. I have to follow through because it was a gift. So I did. And when I came in, I was met by Donnie. And Donnie was very exuberant, very passionate. And I think his words to me were, sit down, we're going to fix you right up. And my reaction inside was, oh, perhaps we should lower the bar. This, I don't think you understand what I'm dealing with. So the first treatment I did actually involved bagging my hands in gloves with two vapor lines going into the gloves for me to absorb, I believe it's the Brown's gas.
It's both molecular hydrogen and Brown's gas, yes.
So through this process, Donnie had been talking to me. We got about 10 minutes in before I realized that I was actually making a tight closed fist inside my glove, flexing my hand with strength, which is something that had not happened. I would not have been able to do before. And I remember being quite shocked to the point where I couldn't even really speak. And I don't think I gave it up right away what was going on. Um, but that's how fast I felt the change.
And when we took the gloves off, we did essentially see the objective results of pretty dramatic reduced swelling in both of your hands. Would you agree?
I would. So my hands actually resembled just for I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. It looked like I was wearing Mickey Mouse gloves. The bones weren't really visible as far as my knuckles. The veins, couldn't see them. And I believe it was either by the end of the first session of treatments or the second day that the inflammation had come out and my movement had been much improved.
Yeah, and it was very dramatic and it was quick. And that wasn't the only therapy that you did. And so, what we do here is we kind of, I call it biostacking. I don't believe that you can biohack the body, so I don't use that term, but biostack the different modalities that are based on nature's first principles of life, right? And so we used infrared light and Therify, which is plasma vortex technology. And then I think you also used the scalar that day too. And so, kind of just give, if you don't mind, sharing with the listeners what your experience of coming to receive treatment here was like. And, if you have any advice, if someone would like to come and join or come and check out what we're doing, any advice for them based on your experience.
I think one of the greatest benefits that I've seen with the treatments is not just the reduction in inflammation, me regaining my dexterity with my hands, but the difference it's made mentally as well. I think when you deal with chronic pain, you don't always realize the toll it's taking on the complete system. So I think with the addition of treatments like the scalar, the red light, things like that, just the overall feeling of well being when I would be leaving, how long it lasted, and then how big a hurry I was to get back. I tell people sometimes I'm a little reluctant to tell them how good I feel after the treatments. First of all, I think we're all unique and we're all going to react differently. And I think I'd felt so poorly for so long. It was just life changing night and day. But I am also convinced that it has made the biggest difference in my health and my situation, and to the point now where I can look forward to doing things that I haven't done in a long time. So truly grateful. I I'm truly a believer.
Amazing. Now, for anybody that's listening that may have autoimmune or very difficult chronic pain or anything that you may be expressing here or close to it, what advice would you give them to consider trying this, or if they were going to come here for the first time, what's some advice that you would give to somebody that's considering this as an option for them?
Um, I wouldn't hesitate at all. I think one of the one of the nicest things about this, and I will say up front, I have a wonderful family physician who's been incredibly supportive of me, who has, tried right along with me to find treatments that are work, and through no fault of his own. I mean, we just haven't got there yet. The beauty of these treatments is they don't interfere with anything that my doctor has recommended. So they're non invasive, they don't affect the medications that I'm on. And I believe that my doctor sees the difference. Again, when you have nothing to lose and everything to gain, it makes it a really easy decision. And I think especially for anybody dealing with chronic pain and where you're feeling helpless. Like I said, I realize it happened really quickly for me. I would hope it happens as quickly for other people, but give it an honest try, and I think you might be pleasantly surprised.
Amazing. And I always ask people if there's anything that they would like to add that I didn't ask directly about that you'd like to share with anyone listening today. And if not, then I would like to just thank you from the bottom of my heart for being involved in this interview and for sharing your story so openly and candidly with the world, because I think it's so important to share our experiences and our lived experiences, and to help try to support one another in finding new ways forward that maybe we haven't explored before.
I think what I would like to add is just what I've come to realize after the fact. I feel pretty foolish for not making the connection earlier. Again, I'm one that, kind of was always led to believe in traditional medicine, and that's the way to go. But when looking at the body as a whole and realizing our systems and how they work as far as hydration and light and oxygen. And I think I made the remark to you the other day about, isn't it funny how people will save up to go on a vacation to the beach, to plant themselves in the sand with their feet in the water underneath the sun's rays, breathing in saline air, and coming back and telling you how much better they feel just after a week away. Well, in reality, that's what all these treatments are doing. They're just feeding your system. And like I said, took a while to make the connection, but it really comes down to things that are so simple and so complex. But I I think that's my biggest takeaway.
Amazing. Yeah. And like you said, these these concepts that we're applying are very simple, but they are extremely complex at the same time in understanding their deep nature. But they're the basics of life. And so far, what we've realized today and why this is so effective for so many people is that those basics have been kind of forgotten and dismissed and ignored and not thought about. And we've started way downstream. And now, as I have been applying this, after well over a year now, I see time and time and time again how important making sure the basics of life are in place before we're looking at the chemical composition or trying to adjust that. So I truly appreciate sharing your story with us. And we love having you as a member in our clinic, in our community. And we'll hopefully have more moments where you share your story with people as they come through. And yeah, thank you so much for being here.
You're very welcome. And I just want to say I am very, very grateful to have this clinic in our area available, just to offer hope for those who really might not be feeling so hopeful right now. I strongly, strongly feel that it would be worth a try.
And thank you for the endorsement. All right, everyone, we will see you next time.